This is the adaptive cruise control for the 2022 Ford Maverick. This is an awesome video, folks. This is talking about the cruise control. How does it work? How do you use the stop and go feature? And many, I think countless number of features that the adaptive cruise control has. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. And enjoy the video. And thanks for coming by. Thanks for your support to this small channel. And one day this channel will grow to be huge thanks to you. Thanks for coming by. You guys are great and fantastic people. Much love. A Automotive Reviews. Enjoy the video. The 2022 Ford Maverick adaptive cruise control if equipped. How does adaptive cruise control with stop and go work? Now, adaptive cruise control with stop and go uses radar and camera sensors to maintain a set gap between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you, while following it to complete a stop. Stop and go can also be set to follow a vehicle directly in front of you and adjust the set speed while you are at a complete stop. Adaptive cruise control precautions. You are responsible for controlling your vehicle at all times. The system is designed to be innate and does not relieve you of your responsibility to drive with due care and attention. Failure to follow the instructions can result in a loss of control of your vehicle, personal injury, or death. Do not use adaptive cruise control on winding roads and heavy traffic or when the road surface is slippery. This can result in a loss of control, serious injury, or death. Pay close attention to changing your load condition, such as entering or leaving a highway, on roads with intersections or roundabouts, or roads without visible lanes of travel. Now, roads that are winding, slippery, unpaved, or steep slopes. The system is not a crash warning or avoidance system. Do not use the system when towing a trailer that has aftermarket electronic trailer brake controls. Failure to follow these instructions could result in loss of control of your vehicle, personal injury, or death. And do not use tire sizes other than those recommended, because this can affect the normal operation of the system. Failure to do so may result in loss of vehicle control, which could result in serious injury. Do not use the system with the snowplow blade installed. And do not use the system in poor visibility, for example, fog, heavy rain, spray, or snow. When following a vehicle, warning, when following a vehicle that is braking, your vehicle does not always decelerate quickly enough to avoid a crash without driver intervention. Apply the brakes when necessary. Failure to follow these instructions could result in personal injury or death. Hilly condition usage. You should select a lower gear when a system is active in situations such as prolonged downhill driving on steep grades or steep slopes, for example, in mountainous areas. Adaptive cruise control limitations. Sensor limitations. Warning. On rare occasions, detection issues can occur due to road infrastructure. For example, bridges, tunnels, safety barriers. Now, in these cases, the systems may break late or unexpectedly. At all times, you are responsible for controlling your vehicle, supervising the system, and intervene if required. Warning. If the system malfunctions, have your vehicle checked as soon as possible. Warning. Large contrast and outside lighting can limit sensor performance. Warning. The system only warns a vehicle detected by the radar sensor. In some cases, there may be no warning or a delayed warning. Apply the brakes when necessary. Failure to follow this instruction can result in personal injury or death. Now, personally, I have adaptive cruise control in my car, and one thing I noticed this morning is when I was driving, there was a semi truck and it was quite dark, and I was coming on that semi truck really quick, and I had to intervene and actually got in a different lane. But again, let's get back to the warning. Now, the system may not detect stationary or slow-moving objects below 5 miles per hour. Now, the system does not detect pedestrians or objects in the road. And the system does not detect oncoming vehicles in the same lane. The system may not operate properly if the sensor is blocked. Keep the windshield free from obstruction. Warning. The sensors may incorrectly track lane markings as other structures or objects. This can result in a false or missed warning. Now, if you look on top of the 2022 Maverick, you see the sensors right here and the cameras. The camera is mounted on the windshield behind the interior mirror. Now, the radar sensor is in the lower grille. You cannot see the sensor. It is behind a fascia panel. Keep the front of your vehicle free of dirt, metal, badges, or objects. The vehicle front protector aftermarket lights and additional paint or plastic coating could also degrade the sensor performance. Now, a message displays if something obstructs the camera or the sensor. When something blocks the sensor cannot detect the vehicle ahead and does not function. Now, the radar sensor has a limited field of view. It may not detect vehicles at all or detect the vehicle later than expected in some situations. The lead vehicle image does not illuminate if the system does not detect a vehicle in front of you. Now, detection issues can occur. As you see in A, you see there's a detection issue. And as you see here, there's also a detection issue because the motorcycle is riding in the middle of the lane. And C, as you see here, when you're turning, there's a detection issue right here. And A, it says when driving on a different line than the vehicle in front of you, as you can see. And B, with the vehicles that edge into your lane, the system can only detect these vehicles once they move fully into your lane. And C, there may be issues with detection of a vehicle in front when driving into a coming or out of a bend or a curve in the road, as you can see. In these cases, the system may brake late or unexpectedly. If something hits the front end of your vehicle or damage occurs, the radar sensing zone may change. This could cause missed or false vehicle detection. Optimal system performance requires a clear view of the road by the windshield mounted camera. Optimal performance may not occur if the camera is blocked, there is poor visibility or lighting conditions, there's bad weather conditions. Switching adaptive cruise control on and off. The cruise controls are on the steering wheel. Switching adaptive cruise control on. Press the button to set the system in standby mode. That's this button here. Now, the indicator current gap setting and set speed appear in the information display. Switching adaptive cruise control off. Press the button when the system is in standby mode or switch the ignition off. You erase the set speed when you switch the system off. Adaptive cruise control automatic cancellation. Now, the system may cancel if the tires lose traction. You apply the parking brake. Or the system may cancel and set the parking brake if you unbuckle the seatbelt and open the driver's door after you stop your vehicle. Your vehicle is at a stop continuously for more than 3 minutes. Or the system may deactivate or prevent activating when requested if the vehicle has a blocked sensor. The brake temperature is too high. There is a failure in a system or a related system. Setting the adaptive cruise control speed. Drive to the speed you prefer. Set plus. Press the toggle button upward or downward to set the current speed. Set plus and set minus. Now take your foot off the accelerator pedal. The indicator current gap setting and set speed appear in the instrument cluster display. Now a vehicle image illuminates if there is a vehicle detected in front of you. So whenever you don't see this vehicle in front of you, it's not detecting it. And so you have to be careful, because sometimes a vehicle could be in front of you, but the distance could be too far, and this will be blank and you won't see a vehicle there, which means you're going to run into the back of that vehicle because the system is not detecting that vehicle. This is something that I had to learn in my adaptive cruise control, and that this is something you have to pay attention to. Now, when the system is active, the speedometer may vary slightly from the set speed displayed in the instrument cluster display. Setting the adaptive speed from a complete stop. Set plus. Press the toggle button upward or downward while keeping the brake pedal fully pressed. The set speed adjusts to 20 miles per hour. The indicator current gap setting and set speed appear in the instrument cluster display. Now to activate adaptive cruise control from a complete stop, stop your vehicle behind another vehicle. Your vehicle must be stopped behind another vehicle to activate adaptive cruise control from a complete stop. Manually changing the set speed, set plus. Press and release the toggle button upward to increase the set speed in small increments. Press and hold the toggle button upward to increase the set speed in large increments. Release the button once the set speed is equal to the speed you prefer. Now set minus. Press and release the toggle button downward to decrease the set speed in small increments. Press and hold the toggle button downward to decrease the set speed in large increments. Release the button once the set speed is equal to the speed you prefer. You can also press the accelerator or brake pedal until you reach the speed you prefer. Press the toggle button upward or downward to select the current speed as the set speed. Now the system may apply the brakes to slow the vehicle to a new set speed. The set speed continuously displays in the information display when the system is active. Setting the adaptive cruise control. Press the button to cycle through the 4 gap settings. And as you see the button with the car with the buttons behind it, with the lines behind it. The selected gap appears in the instrument cluster display as shown by the bars in the image. Now the gap setting is time dependent, and therefore the distance adjusts with your vehicle's speed. So if you're on a highway and you're going 70, it will adjust to your vehicle's speed. And it is safe. It's very, very safe. As you remember, back in the day, it was 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. The computer's automatically doing that. Now, it is your responsibility to select a gap appropriate to the driving conditions. Adaptive cruise control gap settings. Now, the graphic display bars indicate between 1 being the closest and dynamic behavior, sport, and 2, and then a gap distance being close and dynamic behavior being normal. and 3, the gap distance being medium and dynamic behavior being normal. And then 4, this is far and this is comfort. And as you see the different lines, the different numbers, like 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4, which is far. Following the vehicle. When the vehicle ahead of you enters the same lane or a slower vehicle is ahead and in the same lane, the vehicle speed adjusts to maintain the gap setting. When you are following the vehicle and you switch on the turn signal, adaptive cruise control may provide a small temporary acceleration to help you pass. Your vehicle maintains a constant gap from the vehicle ahead of you until the vehicle in front of you accelerates to a speed above the set speed. The vehicle in front of you moves out of the lane you are in. You set a new gap distance. The system applies the brakes to slow down your vehicle to maintain a safe gap distance from the vehicle in front of you. The system only applies limited braking. You can override the system by applying the brakes. The brakes may emit noise when applied by the system. If the system determines that its maximum braking level is not sufficient, an audible warning sounds, a message appears in the instrument cluster display, and the indicator flashes when the system continues to brake immediately. Apply the brakes manually. Cancel the set speed, X. Press the button or tap the brake pedal. The set speed does not erase. Resuming the set speed, rest. Press the button. Your vehicle's speed returns to the previously set speed in the gap setting. The set speed displays continuously in the information display when the system is active. Only use resume if you are aware of the set speed and intend to return to it. Resuming the set speed from a complete stop. If your vehicle follows a vehicle to a complete stop, it remains stationary for less than 3 seconds. Your vehicle accelerates from a stationary position to follow the vehicle ahead. Resume. RES. If your vehicle follows a vehicle to a complete stop, it remains stationary for more than 3 seconds. Press and release the button or press the accelerator pedal to follow the vehicle ahead. Overriding the set speed. Warning, if you override the system by pressing the accelerator pedal, it does not automatically apply the brakes to maintain a gap from any vehicle's speed. When you press the accelerator pedal, you override the set speed and a gap distance. Use the accelerator pedal to intentionally exceed the set speed limit. When you override the system, the green indicator illuminates and the vehicle icon does not appear in the instrument cluster display. The system resumes operation when you release the accelerator pedal. The vehicle's speed decreases to the set speed or a lower speed if following a slower vehicle. Adaptive Cruise Control Indicator illuminates when you switch Adaptive Cruise Control on. The color of the indicator changes to indicate the system status. White indicates the system is on but inactive. Green indicates that you set the speed and the system is active. Switching from Adaptive Cruise Control to Cruise Control. Warning, normal cruise control will not brake when your vehicle is approaching slower vehicles. Always be aware of which mode you have selected and apply the brakes when necessary. Use the instrument cluster display to select the following. Select Setting, select Driver Assistant, select Cruise Control, and select Normal. The Cruise Control indicator replaces the Adaptive Cruise Control indicator. If you select Normal Cruise Speed, The gap setting does not display, and the system does not respond to lead vehicles. Automatic braking remains active to maintain a set speed. The system remembers the last setting when you start your vehicle. Lane centering. How does lane centering work? Adaptive cruise control with lane centering uses radar and camera sensors to help keep your vehicle in a lane by applying continuous assistance steering torque input towards the lane center on highways. The adaptive cruise control gap setting operates normally. Now, this is an awesome feature, especially if you're fatigued or tired. It's a great aid to assist you in getting to where you need to be. Lane centering precautions. Do not use the system when towing the trailer. Failure to follow the instructions can result in loss of control of your vehicle, personal injury, or death. Do not use the system if any changes or modification to the steering wheel have been made. Any changes or modification to the steering wheel could affect the functionality and performance of the system. Failure to follow the instructions could result in loss of control of your vehicle, personal injury, or death. Adaptive cruise control precautions apply to lane centering unless stated otherwise, are contradicted by a lane centering precaution. Lane centering requirements. You must keep your hands on the steering wheel at all times. The system only activates when all of the following occur. You have adaptive cruise control with stop and go on. Lane centering assist is enabled in your information entertainment screen. You have your hands on the steering wheel and the system detects both lane markings. If it does not detect valid lane markings, the system stays inactive until valid markings are available. Lane centering limitations. Adaptive cruise control limitations apply to lane centering unless stated otherwise, are contradicted by a lane centering limitation. Lane centering may not correctly operate in any of the following conditions. Your vehicle is not centered in the lane is too narrow or wide, the system does not detect at least one lane marking, or when lanes merge or split. Limited steering torque inputs is applied. Areas under construction are new infrastructure. When modifications to the steering system have been made, when using a spare tire, and high wind conditions, the driving assistant torque is limited and may not be sufficient for all driving situations, such as driving through tight curves or driving through curves at high speed. In exceptional conditions, the system may deviate from the center lane. Switching lane centering on and off. You must keep your hands on the steering wheel at all times. The controls are on the steering wheel. Press the button. The indicator appears in the information display. When the system is on, the color of the indicator changes to indicate the system status. You can override the system at any time by steering your vehicle. The correct requirements must be met before you can switch the system on. Lane centering alerts. You must keep your hands on the steering wheel at all times. When a system is active and detects no steering activity for a period of time, the system alerts you to put your hands on the steering wheel. Now, if you do not react to the warnings, the system cancels and slows your vehicle down to idle speeds while maintaining steering control. The system also alerts you if your vehicle crosses lane markings without detected steering activity. The system may detect a light grip or touch on the steering wheel as hands-off driving. Lane centering automatic cancellation. When an external condition cancels the system, for example, no lane markings available, a tone sounds and a message appears in the instrument cluster display. If your vehicle starts to slow down, you must provide steering inputs to the wheel and press the release the button to regain full system performance. Automatic cancellation can also occur if the lane becomes too wide or too narrow, or the system cannot detect valid lane markings. Lane markings cross over one another. The system disables until the next key cycle if your vehicle slows down due to driver inactivity, twice within a key cycle. Lane centering indicators. Illuminate when you switch the lane centering on. The colors of the indicator changes to indicate the system status. Gray indicates the system is on but inactive. Green indicates the system is active and applying the steering torque assistance input to keep your vehicle in the center of the lane. Amber with an audible tone, and then gray indicates the system automatic cancellation. Adaptive cruise control troubleshooting. Adaptive cruise control information messages vehicles with adaptive cruise control with lane centering. Now, depending on your vehicle options and instrument cluster type, not all messages display are available. Now, the system could abbreviate or shorten certain messages depending upon which cluster type you have. The message read, keep hands on the steering wheel. Your actions to make sure you return your hands to the steering wheel and provide steering input. The message reads, lane keeping assist not available. Your action, lane centering assist condition exists, preventing the system from being available. The message reads, for lane centering assist to work, turn on adaptive cruise. Now, adaptive cruise control must be on before lane centering can be switched on. Now, adaptive cruise control information messages vehicles with stop and go. Now, depending on your vehicle options and instrument cluster type, not all messages display are available. Now, the system could abbreviate or shorten certain messages depending upon which cluster type you have. Now, the message reads adaptive cruise control malfunction. Now, malfunction is preventing the adaptive cruise control from engaging. And the message could read, front sensor not aligned. Contact an authorized dealer to have the radar checked for proper coverage and operation. The message reads adaptive cruise not available. Conditions exist preventing the system from being available. Message reads adaptive cruise not available. Sensor blocked. See manual. You have a blocked radar because of a poor radar visibility due to inclement weather, ice, mud, water in front of the radar. You can typically clean a sensor to resolve this. Now, due to the nature of the radar technology, it is possible to get a blockage warning with no actual block. This happens, for example, when driving in sparse rural or desert environments. A false block condition either self-clears or clears after you restart your vehicle. Message read normal cruise active, adaptive braking off. You have selected normal cruise control. The system does not brake or react to traffic. Message adaptive cruise driver. Resume control. Now, this displays when the adaptive cruise control is going to cancel and you must take control. Adaptive cruise speed too low to activate. It displays when the vehicle speed is too slow to activate the adaptive cruise control, and there is no lead vehicle in range. Now, that is the adaptive cruise control. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and have a fantastic day. And thanks for coming by, and thanks for your support. Thanks for your thumbs up. And stay tuned for more awesome content. This is Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing. Have an awesome and fantastic day. Much love. And again, thanks for coming by.